shall set you free. The truth shall set you free.
Hey, man, say, man, it's another beautiful episode of The Ugly Truth, man. Rebranded. You dig what I'm saying, man? We come in here to talk about some positive things, man. Some great artistry is in the building. Of course, a pioneer is in the building. He now has stepped into the movie scene role. You dig what I'm saying? What I would consider a Grammy Award-winning song has just been released. Going up on all social medias, definitely touching the world with his music, with his art. The movie that's coming out is fire. I'm going to make sure that y'all follow on YouTube, man. But we got none other than my player partner, one of mine. I call a brother, and I don't just say that. Antonius is definitely in the building.
What up?
Cooling. You heard?
Mm-hmm.
How you been, my brother? It's been a minute, man. Been a minute since you've been to the lab, man.
Man, it's most definitely been a minute, man. But you know, everything in timing, man. I've been good, man. God's been blessing me, dog. Just hard work, grinding all the time, man. You know.
Nah, no doubt. So what you been into lately, man? We ain't heard from you, man. I mean, we've been seeing you all over social media. We see you got short films coming out. We see that you got new music dropping. We see that you making an impact on the culture as you always do. Mm-hmm. But catch us up to speed since the last time we seen you.
Well, man, since the last time you seen me, man, just to catch you up to speed, I'm gonna keep it real with you, G. I've been in my closet, man. I've been in my closet.
Hold on. Let them know. Go ahead. Let them know what closet this is.
I've been in my prayer closet.
Okay, let's be clear.
I've been in that closet. I've been in my secret place. Okay. You know, just talking to the Father, man, asking him what he want me to do, how he want me to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's like mad important for anybody with a career, anybody doing anything. If you're not spending time in your secret place with the Father and getting direction, man, you can end up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So since the last time we spoke, that's when I've been on, man. I've been in the closet, man, just seriously seeking God, man, for direction on what to say, how to say it, why to say it, when to say it, the whole nine, man. Just trying to totally eliminate myself out of the equation, man, and let him have his way, man.
Well, speak to the people. What's one of the biggest things you've eliminated over these last 6, 7, 8, 9 months that you pulled back away from and left all the way alone? What's one of the things that has helped you out and helped your creative space that you've given up?
Man, that's a good question, man. And you know, again, the ugly truth. So I'm gonna keep it all the way live and tell you the ugly truth. So for me, man, honestly, one of the biggest things that was holding me back was smoking bud, bro.
Okay.
I mean, I've been smoking bud for so long, I can't even remember how long I've been smoking it. But it got to a point to where I would be in the studio, I would be trying to work on stuff, and it was like, when is the last time you didn't smoke? And I honestly couldn't think back at least 5 years a day that I did not smoke weed. And so, again, I'm in my closet like, man, if this is stopping me, man, from being great, if this is stopping me from doing what I got to do, please take it away from me, God, because I can't take it away myself.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, one day, man, I just stopped smoking, bro. Was it easy? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. I had to go through the withdrawals. I had to go through the insomnia. I had to go through the nightmares. But after about 3-4 months, man, I just broke free. And then I started noticing, man, my productivity, it jumped to a whole nother level. My clarity jumped to a whole nother level. My communication with God jumped to a whole nother level. Even though when I was getting high and I still had communication with God, but it became more clear once I cleared my mind.
Well, listen, that is something great. Let's give it up for Tony Colts. Hey, listen, man. Give it up for Tony Colts on that.
They probably think I'm high right now because I got these rubber mans on. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, look at that, man. Clean, man. Clear, bro.
My nigga said clean. Yeah. Hi, my name is Tony Colts. I've been clean since September. Nah,
Hi,
shout out to that, man. That's super major for anybody to give anything up that might be hindering them. It ain't got to be weed. It could be anything that's hindering you from your walk.
Drinks,
girls. Good Lord, I need to get married.
Man.
anything that might be hindering, because we know you got a great calling. We know you pioneered this game out here. You dig what I'm saying? From what I seen, the first artist to sell hundreds of thousands in the Christian rap space. You dig what I'm saying? Influenced some of the biggest artists to this day. You know, we very thankful for you for that, and we glad that you were able to share your story of overcoming, because I think that's a lot of what the Bible is. To me, the Bible is preparation and overcoming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not but and you know, on your journey, what else have you been working on, man? Because we've been seeing you drop new music. We've been seeing you into the film game. You know, I seen the documentary when you went to Alabama, and it was it a slave plantation or something with your family? Educate me.
It was
on
a
that.
slave plantation, man. So, you know, I did the documentary when we went to Chicago.
What's the name of it?
It was I Just Want to Live.
Okay.
And, you know, we found my biological father.
Okay.
And from there, I found my biological family, which is Colts. You know what I'm saying? My last name is spelled like a horse, Colts. But under Ancestry, the last name is spelled like a jacket, Colts. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to track down a couple family members, and I actually went down to a family reunion in Gaston, Alabama. And, man, we was able to walk through the slave plantation that my ancestors built.
Okay.
And we were the first African American family to ever walk through that slave plantation. So shout out to Miss Lee, you know what I'm saying, the beautiful white lady that let us do that, you know what I'm saying? And it was you know, mixed emotions, mixed feelings, you know what I'm saying? But it was pivotal as far as finding out my ancestral history, you know what I'm saying?
Getting your history of where you come from
Yeah.
biologically. So what has it been like? It's been, what, a year, 2 years since you met your biological father?
A year.
A year.
Yeah, it's been a
How
year.
has that experience been? Being able to know him, but also know the other side of your family, and then know, like, you know, the music, the talent. Like, do you see yourself in him in the good areas? Do you see your family? Like what do you experience knowing, like, damn, I was not lied to, but I believe this person was my father, now this my father. How's this year been for you?
I mean, it was tricky at first, because, you know, you got to imagine when you think one person is your father all your life, and then you find out otherwise, it's very confusing, very frustrating. You know what I'm saying? You want answers and the whole nine. But I'm going to tell you, when those answers came, they came when I met my biological father and I met his family. I could see the resemblance. I could see, you know, they tell me stories about him, how talented he was, and he used to rock talent shows, and he could pick up an instrument and play it without lessons. And I'm like, man, that's my life. So, you know, it showed me the importance of understanding how blood flows from one generation to the next, you know what I'm saying? And it was important for me to find out, because it gave me a lot of clarity as far as my ways and who I am and how I react and behave towards certain things. So it was a great lesson in learning more about me.
Nah, that's dope. That's definitely dope. We all need to identify. I think the world going through an identity crisis. You know,
Absolutely.
It's a lot of folk out here who has been thinking one thing, but it's really another. But speaking on that, something that we ain't never even really talked about, knowing that you know who your biological father is now, how has your relationship been with your mother, knowing that might have caused pain or anything? How has that relationship or any conversations been with your mother now that you know who your biological father is?
Man, that was one of the hardest parts of the whole experience, because, you know, when you think about a child, you tend to forget. You're the child. You tend to forget that your mother and your father had some kind of run-in. You know what I'm saying? And around the same time that happened to me, Kirk Franklin had put out a documentary about that happening to him. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Kirk. You know, you can never, you know, tell another man how they should feel or whatnot.
Facts.
But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, being that we're ministers of the gospel, and my brother didn't express forgiveness towards his mother for whatever she did. You know what I'm saying? So, and keeping that in mind, when it came to me dealing with my mom, and, you know, from when I first looked at it, it was like, oh, she lied to me all these years.
Facts.
She made me think one thing, and it was a totally different one. But as time went on, and mind you, I never disrespected my mother in any kind of way my whole life. But when that happened, I was calling her all kind of names. You know what I'm saying? Calling her out her name, cussing at her. You feel me?
Whoa.
But it came to the point to where I finally realized, man, you know, my mother was 16 when the run-in that she had with my father came. I wasn't there. And for me to be angry is like me being angry at a 16-year-old. I thought about myself at 16 and all the mistakes that I made at 16. Some of them I never even told my moms about. But I made some horrible mistakes at that age, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, how could you be mad at your mother, the lady that gave you life, man, for something that she did when she was a teenager? And especially if you got kids, you understand that kids make mistakes. For some people, you will hold on to that mistake your whole life because it might be so embarrassing for you that you don't want nobody else to know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never look at it from that point.
I mean, kicking the ugly truth, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly, it wasn't a consensual relationship. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my mom was doing the best that she could. You feel me? But was I angry? I was super angry. I was super hurt behind it. But again, you spend time in that closet, you spend time in that secret place, and God will reveal things to you, man. Like, my mother needed that to get out so that she can find healing within herself, man. That's an ugly secret to hold all them years, man. You know
what was that,
saying?
like 42 years?
Well, we ain't gonna disclose my real age, but you know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it blessed her, man. It blessed her. It blessed me. We got the best relationship we ever had since all of that came out. You know what I'm saying? I love my mama to death. I'll die for her. You know what I'm saying? That's moms.
We'll live for it, man. I think we say that word. I think a lot of people say they die for their folk, and they will.
Yeah, that's true.
I think living for our folk is more important than doing what you called to do to continue to trailblaze the situations that you're able to go through. You're able to speak for a lot of folk who are grown and adults and got children and they children got children, and you able still to go out there and seek the truth. Right, you know, the ugly truth.
The ugly truth. To
move. But, you know, shout out, like you say, shout out to the brother Kurt Franklin. You can't tell nobody how to feel in any situation. So the pain that one person might feel might be something different because the dynamics is different. I think his dynamic was different because I don't think him and his mother had the best relationship growing up. I think you and your mom had a decent relationship.
I mean, you know, we had my mother was 16 when she had me. So we kind of had one of those grow up together relationships. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like I'm always getting loved on. Oh, I love you, son. Like, it wasn't one of those. And I spent the majority of the time with my grandma and her kids too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too far off from what he went through. But my whole issue, and it ain't really an issue, but my whole thing with what he exposed. Now, you Kirk, bro. So you on a world stage where millions of people, dog. His music brought me into the kingdom back in the 90s, dog.
He's still human, though.
Yeah, you feel me? But as a minister of God, man, like as a minister, and I think a lot of Christians, man, we water down who we are, man, in front of people. But it's like, as a minister, God is a God of reconciliation. God is a God of forgiveness. I feel if you can't forgive your mother, man.
If I punch you in the mouth right now, how fast are you gonna forgive me?
It might take me a while. It might take me a while.
It might take him. It might have took him a while to be able to forgive because, like you felt, I didn't have to experience it, but you felt the blow of, dang, now I got to figure this out. Now all of this time, I'm still feeling lied to. You'll walk a little different.
I'm not gonna get on a world stage and let everybody know how much I hate you, bro. I'll hold that hatred in privately. I might even fight you. You know what I'm saying? I might call you like, let's just meet in the middle of your block and throw hands, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you.
But as a minister, as a person of influence.
Well, we got it. What my opinion is, and I want your opinion, we got to quit holding everybody to standards for the simple fact that the kingdom ain't nothing but a bunch of hurt people, bro, who are choosing to seek better. The way that one person might take anesthesia or a shot or medicine, they gonna react different. You know, he was messed with. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not defending.
See, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know definitely. That part.
So when you feel like the people around you that brought you in haven't defended you your whole life and they're lying,
right?
You know, your pain might run a little deeper.
Right.
But speaking on that, you know, talking about pain and hurt, why is I guess we could call it the Christian community. Why they so mad about Kirk and Gorilla getting an award, bro? Like what?
Boy,
my
that's
opinion
crazy.
is this. I want to hear yours. I gotta give you my opinion. I don't think an award should be the solidification of what you have done for the kingdom. That is music. How many souls have you won? How much have you influenced somebody to come into the kingdom, regardless if they smoke, snort, drink, sex, whatever it is?
Right.
Why are the Christian community so mad that Gorilla, who y'all should be wanting to come into the kingdom, and Kurt, he dancing and look a little sweet. Shout out, no disrespect, Kurt, but home look a little, home look a little, a little suspect.
But that's Kirk though, man.
Like, you dig what I'm saying? But if we really talk about the kingdom, it's gonna be so many different facets. It's like kids. You're not gonna really deny your kid because of this, that, the third. I'm probably the only human being on earth that's gonna say, if my son come tell me he gay, nigga, you gotta go. I ain't been bothered. I'm cool, bro. Deal with your mama, nigga. Not me. Pops ain't going. But what is your outtake on that of the Christian community, not the world, but the Christian community being mad that a Christian man who definitely pioneered the game. I also grew up on Kurt. I also remember sitting in the car.
Kirk that dude, man. Kirk
you
that
dig
dude.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like giving that grace. Where is the grace at, and why are they so mad about an award for Gorilla and Kurt?
Man, the Christian community, man, we are in a state of being super sick, bro. And the way I see it, man, is just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees in the Bible. They knew it all, but they always came against Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Every time he kicked the ugly truth, they always came against that. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just Glorilla. You got Snoop. Snoop said his grandmama wanted him to do a gospel album. Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? When I look at her
name is Glorilla, coming from glory. Her name is Glory Hallelujah.
And this the thing, though. This the thing, bro. This is what a lot of the Christian community missing. For Snoop Dogg to want to do a gospel album because his grandma said, somewhere in his heart and in his mind, he feels that he's doing the right thing by doing that. Glorilla, for her to want to do a song and dedicate it to God, somewhere in her heart and in her mind, she feels that she's doing the right thing by doing that. But then you got the industry. The industry is the ones that's saying, okay, I don't care if Glorilla want to do a gospel song. We still going to have her twerking on the next one, and the kids still going to buy her music, regardless of if she's singing about God or not. You know what I'm saying? But I don't put any judgment on Glorilla, Snoop, or any other secular artists that want to do gospel music. I'm rejoicing for them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And just like me, I've been a Christian over 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been a solid Christian the whole dub? No. I've probably done things worse than they've done. But do I still depend on God's grace and God's spirit to lead and guide me and to mold me and shape me to be in his image? Yes.
This is my question for the Christian community. Who has a patent on God?
Nobody.
Because that's the way they make it. You got to live like this. You got to do like this. You got to, this whole cookie cutter position.
But most of the men in the Bible had dirt.
Me and my mom just talked about that. Jesus was a hood nigga. Excuse me, Lord.
Real talk. David.
Kicked it. Go ahead.
Man sent his best friend, you know what I'm saying? Sent his best friend to get killed so he could snatch his wife.
Put a hit on him.
You know what I'm saying? Noah loved some Hennessy. Noah loved to get told. You know what I'm saying? Gideon, he doubted God so many times.
Scary.
Over and over and over and over. Same things, you know what I'm saying? It's the same things, dog. But then you talking about some of the greatest people that ever exist.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. With Kurt, you gotta give Kurt grace because the impact that he has had on the world. We're not even gonna just say the Christian
you know
community.
what? Let me do what a lot of people won't do then. Let me say I apologize for having the view that I had on. When you said somebody had did something to him, see, I didn't know that part of the story. That's the problem with the community right there. We don't be knowing the story, dog. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I was just upset because, dang, man, that's your mama. You know what I'm saying? And being African American, that's how I was raised. No matter what your mama do. And that's part of our problem. Always love your mama, man. No
you
matter
can love
what.
her, but she's still accountable.
Yeah, no doubt. But so I kind of push back on that part of it a little bit because I understand what you're saying now. You know what I'm saying when it comes to the Kurt Franklin thing.
I just want if you in leadership, yeah, there's certain things you can't do. But just like you said, David was in one of the highest leadership. He was.
He was,
and
a
he
king.
was still doing
yeah.
stuff.
Yep, no
so
doubt.
So what I love about, you know, knowing the Lord personally is, regardless of what I do, I influence my homies. I influence everybody around me. Everybody know. And then somebody said, he be doing all this and he going to church. I looked him dead in the eye. I said, nigga, could you imagine how much worse it'd be if I didn't?
Way worse.
Could you imagine how much worse it'd be?
Shout out to Jump Ministries, man. I remember being in Orlando, man, in some of my character building trial season, man. I was at a church in Orlando, man.
Character
and,
build.
Yeah, and I used to get high. I'll smoke a blunt Sunday morning and I won't go to church. The bishop called me in his office one day. Why you ain't come to church, Biden? I'm going to be honest with you, Bishop. I was high as a kite. I'd rather you be high in the house of the Lord than sit at home. I was like, man, I ain't never heard nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we got to embrace, man. It's a hospital of sick people, bro. And even the doctors mess up, bro, which is your pastors, your nurses, which is your deacon and your deaconesses, the people checking you in, which is everybody. Like, nobody is perfect. And I think the issue is that when we consider the church, unfortunately, a lot of outsiders, even in people in the church, look at these people in positions as perfect. We think about Christianity as perfection.
Right.
Because as soon as you say you're a Christian, oh, you cuss, or you smoke, or you this, or you that. So now they're trying to say what you're not supposed to do. Now, there's a standard. There's a bar.
Right.
But the greatest basketball player of all time didn't meet the bar. Nigga, you're supposed to hit every single shot.
That's
the bar
Michael,
is to
that's
hit
Michael
every
Jordan,
shot.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't hit every shot.
Right, he didn't.
He didn't hit every shot. He lost games.
Absolutely.
He made turnovers.
He got beat up.
Yeah, so we making it like a Christian has to be perfect. They just got to live out their purpose.
You know, I can't tell you exactly where it's at, but it's a scripture in the Bible that talk about perfection. And to paraphrase that, in a sense, you know, we always say, oh, I'm not perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But in a sense, we are.
We are. Tell them what you told me, man. Tell them what you told me.
The way that we are perfect is in him. Our perfection is in him. When we in him, no matter the flaw, you're still perfect. You know what I'm saying?
But give them the definition of what the real perfect, because I've been telling everybody, people like, because even when you called me, it was like, are you perfect? And you know, my crazy self said,
when you look up the word perfect, it means
in Hebrew though.
In Hebrew, when you look up perfect in Hebrew, it means complete, mature. So we're complete and mature in Christ. So even though the flesh is imperfect, when you're in Christ, you're complete and you're mature. You know what I'm saying? So we are perfect when we in him.
Nah, big facts, man. That's something important. And I was just telling somebody the other day, they were like, how you know Tony? I said, man, you a crazy story, man. I said I was beating this man's music for years before I ever met him. I said I had a song of him that he didn't even have a hymn. Like, man, I recorded that in my people such and such.
In the closet.
Even for you, even if you've been smoking weed the whole 20 years, you was able to help me in my journey and my walk, because I had to transition and hear something different because what we put in to come out.
Right.
So I was able to put in a good versus evil and listen to all the music, and Concentrated was probably my favorite song back then. And I was able to listen to that to stay focused. We're all going to go through situations, and I feel like kind of like the Book of Eli, you only really test it when you not in the church, if that makes sense, when you're not behind them four walls. You're not tested on training camp. You're not tested at boot camp. You tested in war.
Right.
So when you going through things, you really got to see who you are. Like, I'm going through things and I'm like, dang it, because I don't even feel like my relationship is the way that it's supposed to be. But it's always going to be there. Every man in the Bible felt like that. Even Jesus felt like God was away on the cross. So you got to go through to see what your faith is really like.
Right. There's only one that ever walked the earth that was completely complete.
But I think we take perfect and mean like he never stubbed his toe, he never cut his hand, he never moved. Like, I don't think that's the perfect that Christ was.
No, it's not, because it says that he felt everything that we felt. Even when it was time for him to go to the cross, he was in the garden and he asked God, the man, if please take this cup from me, but your will be done. You know what I'm saying? That's the divide right there, man. Because it's hard to give up your will, bro. It's hard to give up your will, man.
And David Banner said something. Shout out to David Banner, man, the God Box. If you ain't listened to it, go get it. But he said, I think the story of Christ, and this was his perspective, and I understand it, it was more about him coming to show people how to bear their own cross.
That's deep. That's
you
deep.
dig what I'm saying?
Because
Yes,
we wouldn't know how if he didn't.
Exactly, to know for the greater good, and he got his own perspective. But what I took from it was everybody got their own walk of what they gonna go through in life. Me, you, Brew, everybody going through what they go through. It's just where am I gonna elevate and what can I take from? I think when you look at the story of Christ is I put myself to the side in the right situation, because people think it's always giving. No, Jesus told the lady, the Samaritan lady, no, right. I can't do nothing for you. I got to do something for my folk first.
Right.
So sometimes what my daddy taught me, and I was just telling a young lady, you know, some of the greatest things my daddy taught me, but thinking about it, my daddy told me never marry potential, but the coldest thing he really taught me is you can do the right thing. It don't mean you're doing a good thing. I mean,
That's
you can do
true.
a good thing, but it don't mean you're doing the right thing.
That's true.
And the good thing is you could give all your money away to the homeless. They're going to be homeless tomorrow.
Yeah.
The right thing, God might be saying, open up this building and do this, that you could filter them through, but you could also educate the children that they don't become homeless.
Empower them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And man, not to jump the gun, but it's interesting what you're saying, bro. It leads me to one of the reasons I transitioned and started doing short films.
And that's where we was going. So when you talk about that, the empowering, what empowered you, inspired you, or encouraged you to get into your short films?
So again, man, I'm down there in Orlando, man. It's hot. And we stand in ministry houses, man, with no AC. I'm talking about Orlando heat. No AC, dog. I'm sitting there reading my Bible one day, you know, I get to asking God, like, man, why do I keep tripping up the way I'm tripping up? And God showed me, man. First he showed me, it was a scripture in John, I think 1 John. And Jesus said, all that is in this world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And all that is in this world. So I took that literal. I'm like, wait a minute. So I started meditating on it, and he took me to the temptation of Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I read it, and it said Jesus was tempted. He was led into the wilderness by the Spirit, where he was tempted of the devil for 40 days and 40 nights. He didn't eat. And this is what got me just from being from the streets. This is what caught me instantly. And the first temptation the devil hit him with was, if you the son of God, command the stone to become bread. And I'm like, wait a minute. Jesus was hungry.
Facts.
He was starving because for 40 days and 40 nights, he didn't eat. So he was hungry. So God showed me there, you tempted by what you're interested in.
Ooh.
I'm like, dawg, that's deep. Ooh. So I'm like, okay, that's the lust of the flesh. I keep reading. And he took him to a high place and showed him all the kingdoms. I was like, wait a minute, there go the lust of the eyes. And then that last one, he took him to the temple and said, if you the son of God, command, throw yourself off because it is written, the angels are. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the pride of life, because he is Jesus. He could be like, I'm gonna do it. Boom. So I'm like, man, that's deep. So God took me further. He said, this all started back in Genesis.
In the garden.
So I go back to the garden, and the woman saw, lust of the eyes, ooh, that the tree was good for food, lust of the flesh, and that it will make her as wise as God, pride, ooh, of life.
Bars. I ain't never heard that.
And that's what God showed me.
I ain't never heard that. Ooh. Man. You got a minister right here.
Man,
people don't like to call themselves ministers, but you minister.
We are. But that's what he showed me. It's the same three things that stop us all every time. That's why he said, all that is in the world, nothing extra. All that is in the world is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. All sin derives from those three things. And when I got that, I'm like, wait a minute, okay. Now I know. Now I'm more equipped in the fight. Now I'm more equipped in the battle. You know what I'm saying?
So now you know what too. So tell me the name of this movie that you dropping, man. Now that you got this movie coming out that I had the privilege to be able to pre-screen, see the screening of it, man. I think it's a dope film. But let the people know what the film is. You already said what it's about, but give them the education of what it's going to be like and where they're going to be able to find it at.
Man, the film is called Tony Coates Tempted. So, just like Jesus was tempted, I wanted to show it from the perspective of a person that's going through the same thing that Jesus went through. So I just used myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through 3 temptations in this film. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy, man, Mr. Gales, man, which played an awesome devil. Put it out there how it is.
Never heard an awesome devil in my life.
But he really played the role, man, to the T, man. And he just, he tempted me 3 different times. It's really just a reenactment of the temptation of Jesus. And I broke it down to urbanize it so that even if you never read the Bible, you will still understand the story and you will still get the morals of it. It was directed. I wrote the script. It was directed by awesome man. I mean, I want to say that 10 more times because dude is so dope, man. A lot of y'all know him. The director, Will Thomas. Shout out to Will Thomas, man. I've been rocking with my boy for years now, man. And he's a dope director, man. And when I called him, I shared the script with him. He was willing to shoot it, man. So we put it together. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all go check out the movie. Tempted, man. Where we gonna catch it at?
So look, this is what I need y'all to do, man. I am the real Antonius on YouTube. The show is going to premiere on YouTube July 3rd, YouTube only. But I need y'all to go to the real Antonius, man, Antonius Colts on YouTube. Subscribe to that thing, like that thing, hit the notifications. You can see the trailer on there right now if you want to get a preview of what the movie gonna be like. But you gotta get on there and subscribe to my page in order to see it.
So we need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to the Real Antonius, all platforms, man. He on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you know, where it's jumping off at.
TonyCoast.com.
Yeah.
If you want to check out the old music, the new music, TonyCoast.com, you know what I'm saying, is the hub of everything I'm doing.
All right, that's a bar. Well, listen, man, we definitely know that you always got heat. So, but for this one here, man, I had the privilege to go back to the Shy with you, man. You got a fire video coming out.
Oh yeah.
Called Congratulations, man. I really think is a Grammy Award winning song. That it'd be able to win a Grammy once is dropped, man. Tell us how this song came about and what inspired you to release the song.
Man, when that stuff happened with my mom's, bro, it unlocked something in my heart and in my soul, and my writing, man, just went to a whole nother level, bro. So Congratulations, man, is just a feel good song. You know what I'm saying? If you coming out of addiction, if you coming out of any struggle, man, you coming out of backsliding, you know what I'm saying? Anything you coming out of, man, even if you still in it, man, you know, you got to speak those things that are not as though they were, man. Congratulate yourself for coming out of whatever you came out, man. Thank God, but congratulations to you, you know what I'm saying? And that's the gist of the whole song, you know what I'm saying? Then what I did was, when we went to Chicago, we shot a little snippet of that video. Facts. Which is fire. It was straight fire, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted people to hear it before it even came out, you know what I'm saying? But now the song is ready. We got it mixed and mastered by a big heavy hitter, Eddie Stokes. Shout out to Eddie Stokes.
Shout out
you know what I'm saying?
Eddie,
I'm
man.
talking about that's Convict Music, Jeezy, you know what I'm saying? All kind of people, you feel me? Like he's a monster. So he mixed and mastered that thing, and then we got the director Will to shoot the video, man. That thing coming right after the movie, man, and it's a hit, bro.
Congratulations, man. TonyCoast.com, the Real Antonius, all of these platforms you got to follow. He don't like to be bigged up too much, man, but in my eyes, he a pioneer. The first gospel artist that I know that was selling hundreds of thousands of copies back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You dig what I'm saying? Definitely a pioneer in the game. You definitely want to go see the film Tony Colts Is Tempted. Tell me the name of it again.
Tony Colts Tempted.
Tony Colts Tempted. Make sure y'all catch that on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow that. Make sure y'all follow all handles. If you ain't never heard him, this your first time hearing, go get Good versus Evil, man. That album right there gonna bless you. It's gonna be very encouraging.
No, you know what? You know what we gonna do?
What we gonna
Since
do?
you said that, man, this is what we gonna do. When I get home, man, I'm gonna call my guy. We gonna make Good versus Evil free. The album. We're gonna make my first album. Came out in 1998. We're gonna make that album free at TonyCoast.com, man. If you jump on there, throw your email address in there, you'll be able to download that whole album for free, so you can see what my man talking about, man. That was a powerful, powerful project, man.
Nah, super powerful. You got to go get the Good versus Evil. It's coming from all aspects of it, especially if you're from the streets, if you grew up urban in the city, trapping, hustling, grinding, whatever. It's a bar on there. It's an interlude when he go to jail, and it's like, what book you want or something. It was like the Bible. And then he said, I'm on my knees and praying. It's better than dodging bullets. That's what made me an Antonius fan. That bar right there. You dig what I'm saying? So if you looking to get with God, and what I encourage is, man, you don't get yourself cleaned up to come to God, man. You come to God and you allow him to clean you up. Because I'm still a work in progress, man. I know how to being, wherever you might want to consider, and backslid and got back right and backslid again and got back right. You dig what I'm saying? I'm at a point where I'm inspired by my brother's story of not even smoking. You dig what I'm saying? That's like a goal, and when you're around certain things, it's motivation, and it's gonna be actually inspiring to be like, all right, you know what, he could do that, I could do this. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? I'd already told you. I know it sounds a little crazy. This year I'd have left y'all girls alone. Y'all get to keep y'all girls to yourself. So we definitely moving forward in the right track. And you like, oh, are you a Christian? Are you? It's basketball players that are not the best. It's basketball players that get hurt. It's everything in life. It's doctors that's killed people, not on purpose, but it's just your profession. So if you want to follow Christ, man, and do your best job at it, because you might have come from a different place, man. You might come from Haiti, living in a tin can, where now you got a 2-bedroom apartment, and nigga, that's like a mansion to you. That's cool. Don't compare your story to nobody else's story. Be where you supposed to be. Do what you supposed to do. And then when y'all go into these church buildings, do not look at these deacons and pastors like they perfect. Trust me, they're not perfect. But if they anointed and called to help out in a certain area, that's cool. Just like I said, Jordan didn't make every shot. He made it count when it counted, though. Like, we got to really look at our partners like in Antonius, regardless of what he been through. He gonna be able to help lead us to the forefront to get where we need to be.
I'm gonna tell you another truth, bro. Like, not too long ago, man, it was a point to where I would never want to step foot in another church ever again in life, just because of the church hurt and the whole nine. But it's a church here in Atlanta. And I was watching him online, and he got a similar testimony to me and my brother when we flipped off that cliff, and the car rolled 9 times, and the car blew up, and we walked away from that thing, and all I got is these scratches on my hands, and my brother's still alive. 2819, that church 2819. His name is Pastor Philip Anthony.
I stood in line. I wasn't able to make it in. Bro, I stood in line for an hour.
But I started from the moment I heard his testimony, it was so similar to mine. I started tuning in and just watching all his videos, bro. And then he talk about hating sin, asking God to condition me to hate what he hate. And that's what made me start looking within, bro. It was his ministry, bro. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't really set foot in his church, but the word is preached so powerful that it was changing me just from the Bible say faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. What he's preaching, the words that he's preaching so straight out of the Bible, bro, that it just began to build me and change me from the inside. You know what I'm saying? So it is important to be in the assembly. You got to remember, church is like the Boy Scouts. You go anywhere in the United States, you got the building. Everybody dressed the same. You know where you at. Oh, this is the Boy Scouts of America. They all got the same little things on, the same clothes, whatever. But if you take away the 4 walls, the Boy Scouts of America is a worldwide organization. Mm-hmm. And no matter what building they congregate in, they all one body. The Boy Scouts is one body. You know what I'm saying? Church is the same way. No matter, not MAGA. You hear what I say? I said no MAGA. No matter what building you assemble in, the church is the body. It's all of us as a unit. You know what I'm saying? As one organism, not many organizations. So it is important to get into the building. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
not the assembly of the saints, because you inspired by coming. So to finish the story before we get out of here, I met him at IGO, man, 1101 Windy Hill. We just sold the church, but that's where I learned a lot, was taught, brought up, raised up at spiritually.
Awesome church, man.
And I met my brother there, and I was playing his music, and I told him, like, the songs I was listening to. He was like, how you get that? I didn't even release that. A brother in Ohio had gave me him, Raz, and somebody else.
No, hey, but you a real one, though. You don't forget you gave me $100. And I said, what is this for? Man, I had a burnt copy of your CD, man. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man.
I was like, that boy, a real one, boy.
Hey, it was a blessing, bro. You got to bless those that bless you. He don't understand. I had 2 15s and 2 10s in the back of a Crown Vic, beating this man beating this music everywhere that I was at, bro. Like, it was really a real blessing. And I had like 2 or 3 of your albums, but I was really listening to Good versus Evil the main time, bro. Like, it was definitely a blessing. You dig what I'm saying? So, man, let these folk know whatever you want them to know. You got a movie that's dropping. You got congratulations song coming out. You got a lot of movement going on in traction. The pioneer, they've been waiting for you. You came back outside, man. So what do you want these people to know? And just give them the bars that you want them to understand and take from who Anthony says, who's already made a mark for the kingdom, man. What's next? And what you want these folk to know about you?
This is what I want you to know, man, about me, man. I'm going to put God first. And I'm going to do everything within my power, man, and my ability to make sure that he stays number one in my life. And that's what I want for you. Nothing more, nothing less, man. I want you to come into a strong, close, powerful relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, man, which is going to bring you back to the Father, man, which is going to change your whole life, put you where you need to be, not just where you want to be, but where he wants you to be. And that's all I want. That's all I ask. That's all I want from you. I don't want nothing else. I don't want the glory. I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I want you. I want the listener. I want somebody listening to me right now to understand that the Father loves them, man. And you can always go home, man. It's just like the prodigal son. Realize who you are, get up from where you at, and head home. He'll meet you before you even make it to the door.
That was powerful enough in itself, man. Shout out to my brother for stopping by the Ugly Truth again. You already know that you ain't no guest here. You beyond welcome him. This home, my home is your home. You dig what I'm saying? We definitely wish you the best, man, on your short film dropping. I'm looking to see congratulations, getting all kind of awards, blessings, and money, man. We appreciate you for stopping by, man. Until the next time, man. We see you later, my brother.